So, but this conundrum, a lot of people have said, can lead to the destruction of your party. Some people argue that your party is gone. With all of this, are you planning on decamping at some point? Because Delta just left. Other governors are leaving. Governor Fubara, suspended Governor Fubara, went to have a meeting with President Tinubu. And it looks like your party is on shaky ground. And like, you know, Senator Ifeanyi Okowa, former governor of Delta, did say today, said they want to be close to the center. Your state is one leg in the center. You know, the speaker, the deputy speaker of the House of Reps, happens to be from your state. So that's a great privilege. And he too has been saying that we are going to, you know, consolidate on the state and push it out. So is it not just time for you to align with the APC, or are you going to do it anytime soon?
Okay, so I take your advice.
So you are decamping?
I take your advice.
We can say exclusive that Governor OTTI is making the most of the APC.
Governor OTTI is not decamping. And my party is not on shaky ground.
Why?
I've told you this.
The arguments of other politicians.
So listen,
they say lone man. You can't be. You want to be close to the center.
Don't worry. I'm being close to the center. I'm even closer to the center than some of them.
But you're not in APC. You can't be as closer than Delta.
Everybody must not be in APC. This is democracy. And President Bola Ahmed Tinubu held on to his AD, AC, ACN before becoming APC. If he was, then he wouldn't be president today. Sometimes you have to also stand for something.
Will you ever leave Labour?
I am not God. So,
well, so
I cannot say if there's no Labour tomorrow. So you have already predicted them for the
so
party.
you might leave. That's what I said.
I was elsewhere before.
You know, because some people swore that they were never going to leave APGA. But
no, who did?
I mean, people move around political parties as well.
Yeah, of course.
So are you going to say you're never going to leave
Let me
Labour?
tell you. I was in PDP.
Okay.
And then from PDP, I went to APGA.
So you've been moving around
from
a lot.
APGA, I went to APC. I've been in APC.
So you've moved around a lot.
So
that means you might
that's not the issue.
You might just continue in that line.
That is not the issue.
You might go back home.
That is not the issue. The issue is that the party that brought me to power is Labour. Okay? And today we have fought and retrieved Labour. So, and I said I will send you the Supreme Court judgment. So when you finish reading it, you will know that Abure is just masturbating.
Really?
Yes, it's not. He's out. There is. So you can declare yourself. You can declare yourself the president of Nigeria today. You can.
That means,
does that mean Rufai is now the president?
No, but that means his masturbations are of epic proportion, because his masturbations are causing gyrations in the Labour Party as we speak.
Okay, you need to mind your language now.
No, it's because everybody looks at it that all is not well.
You see what?
And they are also they are also pointing at opposition dismembering political parties, like it's happening with the APC, with the PDP now, and they're also looking like as the Labour Party. So that's why you can call it masturbations, but these gyrations are getting into the fabric of the foundation of the party, and a lot of people are arguing that would there even be Labour Party in 2027?
Okay, so they are not God. You are just your human intelligence and analysis.
Just like I'm not God to know if you are still going to leave Labour Party.
Exactly, and I'm not God to also say that I will remain in Labour Party or leave Labour Party. Okay. But as we speak, the objective conditions today do not make it for me to leave Labour Party. There is tomorrow anything can change, and I've told you.
Okay.
And I'm very pragmatic, and I look at things, and of course, if I'm going to take any decision, that decision is going to be taken in full consultation with Abia people. Those are the people who are...
Oh, that's the word you politicians say. You always say you do it for
No.
It's your decision.
I told you I wasn't a politician. Maybe you are the one that are politician now. We are not politicking. No, we must, because the truth about it is that it's Abia people through God that brought me here. So there's nobody is more important than Abia people and God. So, and wherever God wants me to be, but it must be a right move. So it will not be by blackmail. And I always find it difficult to discuss people, because you are not in their condition. You are not in their situation. So there are things they may know that you do not know. But as we speak today, we have retrieved the Labour Party. The National Caretaker Committee is in charge now. And they will organize congresses, ward, local government, like I told you, all the way to national convention, so that we get leadership.
When are those congresses going to happen?
before the end of the year. They already have a timetable.
Okay. I'd like to ask you this. Has President Tinubu done well economically?
Okay, so this is one question I may not be able to answer. Why?
Why?
Because I have access to him. So I can always discuss with him. So it would be unfair for me to come in front of the cameras and be assessing him. And today is just 23 months into the administration. It's still early days.
Did you call President Tinubu and told him it was unfair when he declared a state of emergency in Rivers?
No, I don't. You are also going to an area that I said I will not discuss. And that area is, I won't discuss.
But it's not fair.
I won't discuss.
Okay.
Listen, so that you hear me. I won't discuss people. I won't discuss other states. I won't discuss the federal government.
Do you also share that private opinion when you see an uptick in inflation despite, I mean, I was just at the IMF spring meetings and the numbers were not good. An uptick in inflation despite rebasing.
Despite what?
The fact that we rebased, the inflation calculation parameters.
Yes.
And there's an uptick again, 24%. The numbers are gloomy. They're saying over a couple of years, inflation might go up 37%. And you guys sit in the economic meeting with the president. Do you ever get to tell him and say, Mr. President, we're sinking, we're going under?
Did you start sinking today? It did start sinking today.
So
you have been sinking.
So is it not worth
and
telling
living
him?
in denial.
So is it not worth telling him?
No. I mean, when we go for meetings.
Oh, living in denial. So you support the subsidy removal, right?
Of course.
You support the flotation of the naira.
Subsidy removal was long overdue. And what was happening? What was happening is that big men like you and I, we are the ones.
Your Excellency, I'm not a big man.
You're a big man. You live in VI. For you to live in VI, you're a big man.
So
in fact, I'm even afraid of you. When I heard that you live in VI, I said, in Lagos, I used to stay in Lekki. I couldn't afford VI.
At least you own I don't own a home.
Well, we have to find out whether you own, even being a tenant, to have mind to be a tenant in VI, that means that you are such a big man.
I'm a tenant.
So, no, but the point is this.
Yes.
There are a lot of things that we should have done. My interventions in this day. I'd written extensively about this subsidy. So it was a scam. We just needed to do something
also
about it.
floating the naira?
Sorry?
Also floating the naira too?
Floating the naira, I had also written about it. But you see, I think what happened was that the two things happened about the same time.
Which was not a good one.
But then, over time, I believe that this economy, if we keep at it, the economy would rebound. Oh, now, are you surprised that inflation at 24%? What's interest rate?
Well, it's super high. Going up to 30%.
Yeah, so it goes with interest rate. So if it keeps chasing you, no matter how much you rebase. So that's what it is.
But the hardship on people, the fact that the naira is not worth anything.
Very unfortunate.
And you feel that in your state. Do you tell that to
No,
president?
it's very unfortunate.
But see,
some of the sacrifices must be made. If you don't make them today, you make them tomorrow. Or the economy will go up in flames.
But Mr. Governor, saying it's very unfortunate does not put food on the table of a hungry person. And people will die of hunger. And people are dying.
And saying it is fortunate will also not put food on the table. So you need to do something about it. Just talking. We need to do something about it.
So what are you doing?
So one of the things that we are doing is to ensure that we create an environment where productivity will happen. Part of the problem with the exchange rate is because we are not producing much. It's because we are not exporting anything other than oil. It's because we are importing everything from the profane to the profound. We import toothpicks. We import bottled water. Should we be doing that? So that puts a lot of pressure on the foreign exchange market. And until we reverse that, until we produce, do you know how much we spend importing food? Palm oil that Malaysians took from here in Umuahia. We are now buying from them. So these are things that need to be done.
So what are you doing as regards agriculture? If they took the palm oil out from Umuahia, and you are saying Malaysians are bringing it, but I thought you will have jumpstart the palm oil.
Of course, we are doing that.
So how many tonnage are you producing now?
No, it's still early days.
Early days?
It's still early days.
But people are hungry.
Oh yeah, you have to. I say, so if you're asking how many tonnage, it's early days because we just came. In Okwa, we have a multinational company that is partnering with us to remove the old trees and replant them. in rubber, in cocoa, we are in rice. In fact, today we are producing rice in Owerenta. So, but it's still early days. So it's not time to blow the trumpet because we still need quite a lot of time.
Governor, make me understand this. Your IGR in a month is, and your federal allocation in a month is how much?
Small.
Small amount. But you're doing so many things. You want to build an airport, counterpart funding, you're producing this, you're producing that, you're clearing the debt. I mean, how are you doing it? You said it's a trade secret earlier on, but I mean, people like to know this trade secret. Maybe other governors can,
Will you pay?
Can use it. I mean, because...
No, okay, so the first thing is prudence. Okay. Prudence. Okay, so one of the easiest things for me to do would have been to start building a new government house. It's not like it's very comfortable. But I know that if I use the money to put into dealing with maybe the road in Umuahia, I will empower a whole lot of people who ordinarily didn't have access. So you have prudence, then you have economies of scale. What is most important? I need to sit down. As a student of economics, I have my priorities listed. So, and I know that if the man in Ariara market cannot get to the market, he cannot add to my GDP. So, he cannot add to my internally generated revenue. I know that if the woman in Bende cannot access her farm, then she's not going to be useful, not to her family or to the government. I know that if I am sick and I cannot get attention from the primary health care center, then I will be useless to the economy. And that's why when we came, we looked at the 948 primary health care centers in Abia. We went around. All of them were in a mess. And we said, okay, we'll put some 8-9 billion in the budget for renovating 200 primary health care centers in 100 days. That is happening now. By next month, it will be 100 days, and 200 primary health centers will be delivered. We will take another 200 after this one, until we get the 948. We looked at the schools. We found that a lot of our children no longer want to go to school. You see them early in the morning, hawking banana and granite, kara and all that. So I was embarrassed because I grew up here. And my parents were not rich, but I went to school. And I knew that if these children would not go to school, then they wouldn't have the opportunity that I had. And I said, okay. I wasn't even too sure what the problem was, whether it was the school fees or they just didn't want to, they wanted to make money. So and I set up a task force. I said, first of all, I said, let's know how much do we make from school fees. Go back to 2023. Go back to 2022. The numbers were almost the same. And it was nothing. I said, if I take away the school fees, would it be an incentive for these children to go back to school? I'm not sure. I said, okay, I'll take away the school fees, but I'll set up a task force to force those. So,
have you had some free education now?
Of course. I said, I will force those that don't want to go to school to go to school. Do you know what happened? I set up the task force. And I made an announcement. I said, anybody that will see of school age that was not in school, we are going to arrest him. Not because we wanted to keep him. We want the parents to come so that we can exchange them with their parents. We've not got one person. In fact, the task force that we set up is now going around to ensure compliance, that there is no school where school fees are charged and that teachers are teaching. So I looked at the explosion when the announcement was made in terms of enrollment was so much. And we found that we didn't have teachers. And what did we do? We now said, okay, you know what? There are a lot of people. We are talking of civil servants and other. I said, a lot of people don't have jobs. If you are qualified, we opened up a portal. Please apply. We went to hire 5,000 teachers. And in 1 week, we got 17,000 applications. The second week, it climbed to 30-something thousand. And we shut the portal. We now tested them, and today, 4,600 having hired. We want to take another 4,000 so that we can fit them into those schools. We are renovating all the schools. Okay? So that's what it is. It's not rocket science. So it's just about being prudent, being deliberate,
Yeah.
having a plan.
Yeah.
What do you want to do? And keep it to it. Of course, there's another part of it that's very, very important. The people that you are working with. I don't care where you come from. I'm sure you may have heard that my head of service is from Edo State. I sit down and interview them. And when I interviewed them, and I found he was number one, I got into head of service.
Okay, so what's the primary school enrollment rate now, uptick, since this new scheme started in Abia?
I don't even, it's been crazy. I don't even, I've lost count of the numbers. People are just streaming. Again, what I also found is that a lot of people are leaving the private schools to come to public schools. Because, of course, you have the good quality, you have good teachers, we are renovating the place. And I called the commissioner for education, and I said, we need to now think of what to do to the very serious private school operators. Because we also don't want them to be, it also contribute to the economy.
If there's one word in your mind for the people of your state and you can speak to them now, what would that be?
Well, when we came, we knew our people were struggling. They were weeping. And our mantra was, weep no more, help is on the way. Exactly 23 months after, because today is the 29th of April, 2025, I think help has come. And I believe that they should keep up with the positive disposition. The 23 months out of 48 is less than 50%. So there's still a whole lot that we have in store to do. And by the grace of God, we are going to deliver on every promise we made them. The state is in the right hands. The state is moving in the right direction. And we also appreciate that they are very happy with where we are now. So they should remain focused. No one should listen to stories because you can feel it yourself. So, and I also like to thank you for finding time to be with us in Abia here. And we hope you will come again and again and again. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That's about all we can take with the governor of Abia State, Governor Alex. So it's been a